Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another beautiful morning. If it's anything like today, it might be pouring rain. We are on day 11 of my parenting challenge, and we're still in part two, where we are looking on building our relationship. And I'm taking things really slow right now because, as you see, when we get into behaviors in a few days, you're going to realize just how important these relationships are. These relationship pieces are incredibly important for when we're actually managing behaviors. You'll have half the battle done. So when we get there in a couple of days, hopefully you'll be thanking me that we're taking it slow. And I know a lot of parents are still struggling with that nagging or not nagging piece. And so I want to make sure bit by bit, we're only doing a little bit every day, because if I give you too much at once and we're going too fast, it's easy to get overwhelmed and it's easy to throw in the towel. So that's why I'm focusing on this relationship little bit by little bit. And the other thing is, when we're building our relationship with our kids, it's an ongoing journey. It's not a one and done, right? As kids get older, they're going to start spending less and less time, especially once they start school. They're spending less and less time with us as they start establishing relationships outside of the family. And you know what? Teens still need us. As young adults, they're still going to need us. Even when they're parents themselves, they're still going to need our strong relationship to be able to support them as they face any challenge. So that's why I really want to focus on building this connection. And building closeness in our relationship is about being available and responsive to our kids. I get really bad at this, especially when I'm on my computer. There's times where my kids will come to me and I don't even look up from my screen. And sometimes I might even get frustrated with them, right? And what message I'm doing is more important. So it's being responsive as we can. And it's not just the time together. I mean, I'm at a cabin right now. I've been here since we started this challenge. It's kind of one big room. There's no getting away from each other, especially when it's raining outside. So we're all together all the time, but that doesn't mean we're connecting. COVID is a perfect opportunity for us to be connecting because we are all here. We are, and I've talked about it at the very beginning. It's a great reset button. And there's a few ways that we can establish the relationship. So we're just going to spend 2 more days on this, I promise, and then we'll move on to other things. I've already talked about collecting your kids. So when you've been apart, how do we collect our kids? We also have lots of opportunities to capitalize on connecting casually. Okay, and so casually throughout the day, it's not planned, it's just as things come up. And these are going to be the most important times, and especially now it's great because we do have so many times together. We have frequent small. We want to capitalize on them because it's these small moments compounded long term that are really going to entrench our relationship and relationship. It's not the big family vacations to Disneyland. It's not the big, Christmas holidays. It's not those big events that really establish that relationship. Usually those are stressful anyways. It's these little moments day by day. The best opportunity is to jump in, especially when you're teens, when they come to talk to you. That means they're ready and happy and willing and wanting to with you, or if they want to show you things. Grasp these opportunities. It's so easy to say just a minute and then later on they're like, never mind, it's okay, right? Or we say, no, I can't, I'm busy right now. Now sometimes I know we can't take every opportunity, and I've taught my kids, if I'm on a call, if I'm doing a video, I can't talk. If I'm at the stove, I can't look. They're always constantly, Mom, look at the puppies, or look what I can do, right? So I've taught them in these situations, I really can't. Those are not great times. Those boundaries. But other times, you know what? Yeah, I want to turn and I want to look at you and tell you that you're important. So let's capitalize on those opportunities. I had a magical moment yesterday. It's so easy for us to not, right? To not take those. But I had a moment yesterday. I only had a few minutes between calls, and my daughter asked if I could read with her. We're reading Fablehaven right now. We love it. So, I only had a few minutes. I'm like, kiddo, it's not really worth getting into the book. That's usually my first thought. But yesterday I actually said, you know what? I only have a few minutes, so I only might be able to read a page or two, but let's do it. So I snuggled down, we got under the blanket, and I read to her. And it was magical. It was only a couple of minutes. It was only a page of reading. But you know what? That minute lasted throughout the rest of the day. she was amazing for the rest of the day. Are you okay, Mommy? Checking in on me between calls, cuddling. When I walked the dogs last night, she cleaned the whole cabin. And she went to bed beautifully, right? And so just that one little moment is all it takes. So for the challenge for today, whenever your kids come to you with anything, so unless you are on a call or a Zoom meeting, right, or you are engaged in something, say, hey kiddo, I'm engaged in this, come back in 10 minutes, or I'm going to set the timer just so that they know that they can trust you, that you really are going to turn to them. But even if you can, be in a call and just say, oh, 1 second, and turn to them, how magical is that, right? So take those moments, practice, continue practicing your listening and your reflecting and validating. When you stop to listen, especially in the moment, you're telling them that you love them, more important than anything else, even more important, your work, right? And that is what's going to relationship. So have a lovely day. Go have fun with your kids. Take those moments, those small little moments, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.